pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good, very good. Welcome everyone here tonight. We've got a full agenda, so I will not waste any time and get going on it. Approval of the minutes. Everyone, I hope, has had time to go over them and review them, and any additions or takeaways. Then they stand approved as submitted. Report of the town manager, Mr. Warner. What you got for us?
Thank you, Mayor Stanley, members of council. Just a few items. Remind everyone that spring cleanup week is currently underway through Friday, April 10th. This is a semi-annual event that largely involves the pickup of bulk goods at the curbside for customers who pay the refuse collection fee. If anyone has specific questions, please contact the Public Works Department directly, 540-587-6081. Also wanted to extend my thanks to the Liberty Middle School baseball coach, Gary Arrington, and also his players and parents associated with the team. They conducted a cleanup event, which they initiated and performed at Field 3 of Liberty Lake Park over the weekend of March 21st. And that's the field that they play all their home games on, have for years, and they've really taken a great deal of pride and ownership in that, which we really do appreciate, and certainly makes Public Works efforts a whole lot easier. So just wanted to recognize Gary Arrington and those folks, and hey, encourage other folks who use our facilities to talk to us about helping out. Right. Also want to remind people that we do have a town hall informational meeting regarding our electric utility service, which will be hosted by Paul Beckhusen of AMP. That will take place in this room next Tuesday, April 14th, beginning at 6:00 p.m. And that concludes my report, but I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Any questions? Thank you. Good. Thank you, Mr. Warner. Appearances before council. Oh, okay. You know the routine, Ann.
I do, and I apologize. I was actually at a separate meeting right before I came. Good evening, Ann DeLong, Clearview Road. As Vice President of the Board, I'm here on behalf of the Bower tonight to share an exciting opportunity for our town. One that we're uniquely positioned to take advantage of this summer. The Bower Center, as you may know, in partnership with the National D-Day Memorial and the Charles Schulz Museum and Research Center, will host a major exhibition entitled The Life and Art of Charles M. Schulz. This exhibit commemorates the 25th anniversary of the D-Day Memorial and also the 20th anniversary of the Bower Center. The exhibit begins May 7th with a replica of Schulz's studio, and then will be followed by a full exhibition opening on June 17th and running through August 7th. This is not just another event. Charles Schulz is an internationally recognized figure, and his connection to the National D-Day Memorial adds even deeper significance. You all probably know that he was one of the founders and funders of the D-Day Memorial, giving over $1 million. And this exhibition will bring new visitors to both the memorial and then into town to the Bower. And as you also know, one of my talking points is that we get 60,000 visitors a year at the memorial, and only 20,000 came into the Bedford Boys Tribute Center last year. So that we are hoping to capture a greater percentage of that missing middle of 40,000 by having them come to the Bower and see Snoopy and the Peanuts gang. So many of those visitors will be looking for someplace else to go, someplace else to eat, something else to experience downtown. They will be captive here. For Bedford, I think this provides us a tremendous opportunity to make a strong first impression and invite those visitors in. To do that, we need to ensure that our downtown feels vibrant, welcoming, and alive. One of the most visible ways to accomplish that is by addressing our vacant storefronts. So tonight I'm asking the town to consider a simple and practical solution, to partner with local artists to install original art or high-quality canvas prints of their work in the windows of vacant buildings to transform the currently empty spaces into something engaging and attractive. Imagine visitors walking through downtown, and instead of dark, empty windows, they encounter a walkable gallery, artwork, color, and stories about local artists. It creates energy. It encourages people to slow down, to explore, to take photos, and to step into our shops and restaurants. The Bauer Center is ready to help identify artists and coordinate participation. What we need from the town is leadership, working with the property owners to obtain access, preparing the spaces, and helping to bring this vision to life. We believe this is a low-cost, high-impact way to support our local arts community, improve the look of downtown, and capture more of the economic benefit from visitors who are already coming here. The exhibit will happen either way, meaning the Schultz exhibit. The question is whether we choose to fully leverage it. I urge you to take advantage of this moment to turn increased visitation into increased engagement and to present a downtown that reflects the pride we all have in our community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I will say, and all that is part of the downtown strategy whenever that part comes up, but that's all included in that. The storefronts, the artwork and all that is included in that plan, but we're taking a few steps at a time, but I like that. That is good, very good, and we'll see what we can do. All right, council comments. Dave, what you got? Anything?
I've been too verbose lately, so.
Excuse me, Mayor. I apologize, I'm running a tad late and didn't get to sign up. May I approach to speak to council?
Sure, I'll give you 3 minutes. How's that?
Leslie Mahaffey, 1517 Woodland Road here in town. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me. I want to first of all thank Mr. Warner for seeing to it that the no parking signs on Peak Street have been replaced. The trees have been cut back at Peaks and Avenel so you can see the signage to go to Avenel. And I had requested that the light in the museum parking lot be changed to an LED bulb because the old bulb only gave about that much light, where the LED is out like this. Yep. And that made a tremendous difference, and I appreciate that being done. I want to address to you tonight the historic banners that the museum had placed here in town. On October the 12th of 2018, the museum had worked with MOSCA Design in Raleigh, North Carolina to make 15 historic banners for the town lamppost. The money from these banners came from a collaboration from Jennifer Thompson of the museum and Diane Wilson, past president of Bedford Main Street. They were both on the Main Street board, and as part of the liquidation of the Main Street funds, some of that money was on hand to purchase these banners. They've been on display for a good portion of the past 8 years. Dr. Alphonse Pogue's banner was destroyed on the Sister to Sister burn on South Bridge Street, and Jimmy Steptoe's banner was singed from the heat. They have all faded and are quite worn, as you all can see. The museum has tried to obtain replacement banners since October of last year by tagging on to orders placed by the town to get a better price. This has not happened for one reason or another. Before I pursue this matter further, I want to make sure that there are no issues in obtaining replacement banners. I have worked with a company contracted by the town for the new banners, as well as the Vietnam Veterans banners that were paid for by the Bedford Vietnam Veterans Board. The 18 banners represent 18 important people in the town. 2 long-time serving police officers. Tommy Harrison was the longest serving chief of police in town, and then Peter Lee Huddleston was the longest Bedford County Sheriff's longest serving sheriff. One of the banners is Lacey Putney, who is the longest serving House of Delegate, 53 years. Carl Overstreet, who was a pilot He was the first U-2 pilot to fly over Russia. Dr. Pogue was a doctor, pharmacist, and civil rights activist. General William R. Terry is the only Confederate brigadier general and state senator for Bedford County. Then there's President Jefferson Davis, who was the owner of Poplar Forest. Jimmy Steptoe, who was the second Bedford County clerk who served for 54 years. John Good, he was in the House of Delegates, Virginia Secession Convention, CSA and USA congressman. Mrs. Blanche Whiffen, who was an opera singer. She lived till 1936. Mayor Russell Odie, many of you knew him. Railroad tycoon Stuart Saunders. He merged the railroad with Penn Central. Then, of course, educator Susie Gibson. We all know of Ms. Gibson and being the jeans supervisor. Tom Sidonia. I don't know whether y'all really realize who Tom Sidonia is, but he was the circus entertainer, an artist, and he was a resident of the Elks Home. He was the one that started the lights and the decorations at the Elks Home. He's quite unique, as he was known as the most tattooed man alive in 1954, and it was all through electronic tattoos. He has the whole shirt thing, which is kind of common nowadays. Colonel William Calloway, who was a member of the House of Burgesses, Minister Dr. Jeremiah Bell Jeter. He was the founding member of the Southern Baptist Convention, and then Miss Willie Lee Rose, who was groundkeeping Reconstruction era historian. Again, I'd like to know if there's any issues if I push to have these banners made.
Mr. Warner, we've had a streets committee meeting with the banners. Are we aware of any issues here, or?
No, as far as ordering, though, I'll tell you, these are not typically purchased by the town, although if we can assist you in getting a price, we're happy to do that.
Right, okay. Well, I have talked with Matt Cawthorn at Nimble Merch, who has done the new banners that are in the process of going up, and he's quoted some prices to me, and but I will change the design slightly, not much. They'll be much more vibrant than these are, but again, the museum, we're nonprofit. We scramble for every nickel, dime, and penny we can get, and we'll probably have to go through some kind of a campaign to raise money to get these banners done. But I didn't want to go through that process if we were going to get nixed and told we cannot. I think that these are important. They're important people that have been part of our community.
I agree, Leslie. I think the long term is what we would like to get to is a standard size for all the banners.
I don't have any problem with that.
So now, I'm not sure we've gotten to that size yet, but that's our long-term vision, to all banners be the same size so that Public Works doesn't have to continue to adjust the brackets. But
should I work with Mr. Warner, or is there a committee that handles this?
I would go through Mr. Warner.
Actually, I'll tell you, we'll be presenting a banner policy to council at the next meeting that talks about specifications. And the historical figures banners are included in a specific plan along Bridge Street, I believe.
Well, I just want to get new ones made, so when they go up, they're going to look good.
Yeah, good deal.
All
Thank you,
right.
Leslie.
Thank y'all for allowing me to come before you tonight.
Thank you. All right, where were we? Report of, council comments. Mr. You can speak for both of them.
That's right. Just to welcome everybody. We do have a full agenda, so I'm just going to keep it short. Last two meetings I've been kind of wordy, so welcome, and hope y'all had a good Easter. That's all I got.
Thank y'all for being here.
Thank y'all for being here.
Thank y'all for being here.
thank y'all for being here, and Leslie, we appreciate your knowledge on all those people.
Yes. I would echo the same thing. Leslie, thank you for speaking that, and Ann, thank you for saying what you did. Thank you. We always do what we can, and we're open for ideas and suggestions. And that's all I have. Report of council committees, we did not have any. Revisions to the agenda, there are none. Public hearings, setting tax rates on real property and certain personal property tax for the year 2026. Mr. Warner.
Please be advised that a public hearing on the tax rates will be held on Tuesday, April 7th, 2026 at 7 p.m. in the council chambers of the Town of Bedford Municipal Building, to wit, to set a real property tax rate of not more than 28 cents per $100 of assessed valuation for tax year 2026, to set a personal property tax rate of not more than $1.06 per $100 of assessed valuation in the Town of Bedford for tax year 2026, and to set a machinery and tools tax rate of not more than, I always get this fraction wrong.
1/1,000,000th of a cent.
Thank you, Councilman Foster. 1/1,000,000th of a cent per $100 of assessed valuation in the Town of Bedford for tax year 2026. The rates proposed for tax year 2026 are the same rates as tax year 2025.
Good deal. All right, I am going to open this public hearing for anyone who would like to come up and speak. Public hearing is now open. Anyone that wants to come up and say what's on your mind, for or against, or whatever, now is your time. I see no movement, so this hearing is closed. Next one is deed of confirmation and release with Burwell regarding Stony Creek Reservoir property. Mr. Warner.
Notice is hereby given of a public hearing to be held by Town Council at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, April 7th, 2026. The purpose of the public hearing is to receive comment on the town's conveyance and quitclaim of certain tracts and interests to the Bedford Regional Water Authority of parcels near the Stony Creek Reservoir in Bedford County, being Bedford County tax map numbers 55-A-16, 55-A-17, 55-A-30, and 55-A-32. Further information on this action has been available in the office of the town manager at 215 East Main Street.
All right. And the public hearing for this deed of confirmation is now open. Anyone who would like to come up and say any words that is on your mind, please come up at this time. Leslie, just same thing, state your name, address, and
Leslie Mahaffey, 1517 Woodland Road, here in town. As far as this deed confirmation and release, I understand that's going over to Bedford Regional Water Authority, but does this have anything to do, we addressed this several months ago. Danny Hilton was here and went through a whole history of the properties and restrictions and all, and I just want to make sure that those restrictions for the conservation of that property is still there and will continue even with any of these transfers. So that's basically my question to you all. Will this property that will be in the town's hands still be conserved and not be utilized for anything other than conservation?
what we're doing tonight is just conveying the property. These are steps we go through. We don't know at this point what we'll do with it, or if that will be kept, or we have options, and that is part of the options.
Okay.
So tonight, we're just, we're finally to the steps to where we can convey the property, and we were approached, as Mr. Warner will explain later, we were approached to do what we're doing tonight. So, but we're just doing one thing tonight.
Okay,
The rest will come later.
all right. I'll have my eyes open. Thank you.
Please do. As I always say, more to come. All right, anyone else? This hearing is now closed. Now, the consent agenda, appointment of member of Redevelopment and Housing Authority. Mr. Warner again.
2 vacancies exist on the Redevelopment and Housing Authority. Mr. Bill Mosley has expressed an interest in being appointed to the authority for the remainder of a term expiring October 13, 2026. The vacancies have been advertised in the local newspaper. Tonight, council is requested to appoint Mr. Bill Mosley to serve on the Redevelopment and Housing Authority, said term to expire October 13, 2026.
Do I hear a motion?
So moved. Second.
Councilman Haley made the motion and Councilman Foreman made the second. Any comments, discussion?
He served on this before, if I remember correctly. Or was that the planning commission he served on? He served on 2 committees, I remember.
I think Bill's been on the Planning Commission before.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think
All
he
right.
served on the Housing Authority.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of it. No.
Given his passion for that, I think he'd be he'd be an asset to that. So
totally
I was glad to see his name
I
up there.
totally agree. Totally agree. Anything else? Okay. Darcy?
Mr. Foreman,
Aye.
Mr. Foster,
Aye.
Mr. Haley,
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito,
Aye.
Mr. Updike,
Aye.
Mayor Stanley.
Aye.
Motion carries with 6 members voting aye.
All right, next is request to close streets, Bedford Boys Tribute Center, Wreath Lane Ceremony. Mr. Warner.
Bedford Boys Tribute Center is requesting permission to hold their wreath-laying ceremony in front of the county courthouse on Saturday, June 6, 2026, and to close the following streets. North Bridge Street from the red light east to South Street from 5:45 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. Bedford Boys Tribute Center will notify the fire department, police department, and Bedford County Fire and Rescue of the street closings. Tonight, Town Council is requested to approve closing of the above streets for the wreath-laying ceremony in front of the county courthouse on Saturday, June 6th from 5:45 p.m. to 7:15 p.m.
And this is a pretty regular thing. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
All right. Vice Mayor Updike and
Second.
Councilman Haley. Any questions, comments?
That's not closing the complete South Street, it's just closing up to South Street?
Yeah, really, it's mainly on the sidewalk. I mean, it's,
Yeah, it is.
I think it's the third year that
Yeah.
Ken's done this.
They've been doing a good job at it over the years, so.
All right. Darcy?
Mr. Foreman,
Aye.
Mr. Foster,
Aye.
Mr. Haley,
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito,
Aye.
Mr. Updike,
Aye.
and Mayor Stanley.
Aye. All right,
Motion carries with all members voting aye.
a brief presentation regarding the operations and outcomes of the police department. Chief Jim Moore, come on down.
I promised the mayor and town manager wouldn't take more than an hour and a half doing this, so.
And I told him he has all the time he wants.
That's your definition of brief.
Just thanks.
Moving forward.
Hey, I appreciate the opportunity to come by to brief you all on the department. So my name is Jim Moore. I'm blessed to serve as your chief of police, and I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. So I want to talk a little bit about what we do to serve this great community. I've been working here for exactly a year now, and I've been thoroughly impressed by our entire team at the Bedford Police Department and our community as a whole. Prior to serving here and over the past 38 years, I've had the opportunity to work for and with many policing agencies from across the country, and I've been involved in many criminal cases, often in partnership with other local, state, federal, and even international policing agencies. I've also had the opportunity to know and to train with hundreds of policing leaders from the U.S. and other countries. Being a native Virginian myself, I've held the town of Bedford and the residents here in high esteem even before I showed up here to work. Since holding this job, I've discovered that this town, the people who live here, and the employees of the Bedford Police Department are even better than I could have imagined. The people that serve here on the Bedford PD are some of the most finest, most dedicated, caring, and professional people that I've ever had the opportunity to work with. They exhibit kindness, good judgment, fairness, and professionalism daily in the performance of their duties. The high amount of trust and support between the police department and the Bedford community that has been created over many years is something that you rarely see these days in our country, and I intend to keep doing all I can do to help that relationship moving in the right direction. Now, let me allow you to tell you a few things about the PD these days. In a nutshell, we're here to do three things. The first is preserve life. Over the years, our officers have been credited with personally saving lives here in our community in a number of different ways, and this continues to be our highest priority. We proactively work on traffic safety, drug interdiction, crime prevention, and education. We often deal with volatile situations that threaten the safety of individuals and the public as a whole, and we make every effort to handle problems early before they become life-threatening situations. Number two, we protect the vulnerable. Our children, our elderly citizens, and other vulnerable adults are the most susceptible to both physical crime and things such as online predation and scams. Our goal is to prevent these crimes through education, to help them gain knowledge about the methods criminals may use to try to prey on them, and to solve and charge actors for these crimes whenever possible. If somebody comes to Bedford to prey on our citizens, we will catch them and they will face the consequences. Crime has no jurisdictional boundaries, and we have close partnerships and working relationships with numerous local, county, city, state, and federal law enforcement organizations that we partner with to investigate and solve crimes and to bring justice to citizens. We also have a great Commonwealth Attorney's Office that takes crime seriously as well. Number three, we create problem-solving partnerships. The citizens of Bedford rightfully expect to live in a safe environment, and we partner with them to create a great place for people to live, work, and raise a family. Most of the residents here in town elevate us all with their essential sense of goodness, community, and compassion. And you don't find that everywhere, you guys know. We hold ourselves accountable to reduce crime and reduce the fear of crime here in Bedford. Some people mistakenly believe that safe communities happen by accident, but that's simply not the case. Here in Bedford, we have solid, trusting relationships between community members and the police, and together we work to create problem-solving partnerships and a safe community. This trust has existed here in Bedford for a long time, and our goal is to keep doing that, our part to maintain that trust and to strengthen it further. Believe it or not, there are some people in this area who would exploit our children, prey on our elderly, burglarize our homes and businesses, or otherwise victimize us. Through our strong police-community partnerships, we work together to prevent and minimize these types of crimes. We also have a fourth internal goal, and that is to hire, equip, and train great personnel, or what I call top-tier talent. We have three great individuals in the police academy right now. I've just been thoroughly impressed with everybody who has worked here and everybody that does work here these days. Nationwide, policing is a tough profession to be in these days. With fewer and fewer people willing or qualified to do the often thankless and dangerous job, often working the overnight shift or outdoors in all kinds of weather ranging from snow, rain, or extreme heat, the vast majority of agencies throughout our state and country are short on personnel, many critically so. However, I'm happy to report that the Bedford Police Department is currently fully staffed with dedicated, highly qualified, and professionally trained officers and professional staff. And we even have a waiting list of folks who wanted to come work for us. And I know you said that at one point, Todd, and it jinxed you, but right now we're looking really good. I give full credit to our officers who have been working hard for years to create trusting relationships with citizens and a fabulous community that treats us well in return and works with us daily to prevent, solve, and reduce crime in Bedford. Again, safe communities don't happen on their own, and it takes a team effort between the public and the police to create safety. We seek applicants who have the necessary qualities of being humble, hungry, and smart, and we put them through a rigorous physical background and onboarding process before hiring them. Once hired, our recruits attend a 27-week police academy, followed by at least 12 weeks of field training before being released to patrol on their own. So basically what I'm telling you is the entire process from recruiting somebody to hiring them to getting them on board is normally well over a year. So we're in pretty good shape right now. Citizens and business owners in Bedford can sleep soundly at night knowing our officers are here and working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and 365 days a year to serve you and we provide a personal level of service that many other communities cannot provide. We'll talk a few minutes about the current structure of the department. As far as our staffing goes, we're comprised of four patrol platoons who generally work 12-hour shifts and a detective division. We also have 3 captains who oversee 3 main parts of the BPD: police operations, professional standards and innovation, and administrative services. Our dedicated professional staff, who are worth their weight in gold, handle such things as crime analysis, records management, FOIA requests, which seem to be never-ending and are very manpower intensive to cover, various purchases, timekeeping, property and evidence, maintenance, and CALIA, which is the certification in management. CALIA stands for Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies, which is widely considered the gold standard accreditation for law enforcement agencies, and is comprised of rigorous standards for us to follow and adhere to, which leads to improved performance, enhanced community trust, and utilization of the best policing practices. Once we achieve this accreditation, hopefully this December, we're going to have our on-site. We'll be the smallest agency in the state of Virginia to have earned this achievement. We have a great mix of folks on our team. Many were born and raised here in Bedford and town and county, and others who have worked for other agencies and other careers before coming to work here. This makes for a broad base of experience and knowledge and creates a situation where we are constantly learning from each other with the goal of being the best we can be. We have some of the best detectives in the state, and they are routinely called upon from other agencies for advice and investigative assistance. Our trusted partnerships with other local, state, and federal agencies are a strong suit as crime and criminals frequently cross jurisdictional boundaries. One thing that our employees have in common is that they would all be highly sought after for employment by other agencies. Yet they choose to work here because they love our mission, the environment, and the support and cooperation we get from the people that we serve. No presentation would be complete without giving you a few statistics. I won't kill you with statistics, but I'm going to give you an overall here and talk about what we do. Our call volume has increased over the past few years and only keeps growing. In 2023, we answered 8,313 calls for service. In 2024, we answered 9,818 calls for service. And in 2025, we answered nearly 11,000 calls for service, 10,828 to be exact. I expect these numbers to continue growing as more folks move into the community. We made 2,194 traffic stops in 2025, issued 769 traffic summonses, made 43 DUI arrests, along with a number of felony narcotics and other felony cases such as violent crimes, felony property crimes, and crimes against children. We also completed 578 extra directed patrols, as well as many other officer-initiated proactive patrols and targeted enforcement in areas requested by our citizens for traffic safety purposes. Crime statistics indicate we have a very safe community. However, we are not immune from crime and those who would do harm to us. Statistics don't tell the whole story, however, or even the main story about the effectiveness of a police department. The most important outcomes in policing are never measured because they never happen. Crimes prevented equal no victims created. We also utilize the best modern technology we can afford as a force multiplier to protect the public and to do our best to keep a step ahead of the bad guys. Technology increases the chances of quick solvability of crimes, and used correctly and ethically, it multiplies our effectiveness and builds legitimacy with the public. Offenders don't study crime stats. They calculate the immediate risks of being caught. We do our best to ensure that is the case when crimes occur here. Lastly, I want to talk about some of our public outreach. We have a program called My90. And we seek to do our part to fulfill community expectations and to provide a high quality of life to citizens, business owners, and visitors to our town. To obtain feedback from the public in the interest of transparency, we subscribe to a community feedback and public transparency program called My90. Our ongoing My90 results are updated monthly and are available on our website to anybody that goes there. Results routinely reflect a high degree of community trust, with last month's results indicating 90% of respondents have a positive view of the Bedford Police Department. 100% of respondents felt they were treated fairly and with respect, and 94% feeling that they had their questions answered. There's also a feedback question asking about any crime concerns and where citizens would like to see more patrols and police presence. My 90 also includes a narrative section full of comments from the public that reflect a high level of prompt service, empathy, respect, and professionalism our officers and detectives provide to the public. As I mentioned earlier, we work hand in hand with the public to prevent crime and to solve crimes when they do happen. Community policing is not a program we run, it's part of who we are and how we operate. We look forward to opportunities to meet and communicate with the community regularly. And if you or anyone you know ever have police-related questions or want me or one of our command staff or one of our officers or professional staff members to meet with your neighborhood church or civic group to talk about crime prevention, current scams, or other topics, we're always available to do so. I'm going to close with just giving you a few bullet points, just a few of our successes that we had in 2025. We held the first ever Citizens Police Academy. We partnered with Liberty University, resulting in advanced leadership training for our employees and providing recruitment and internship opportunities. We were fully staffed for the first time in years. We made major steps towards achieving CALIA accreditation. We have increased our social media outreach efforts, and we've partnered again with Thomas Road Outpost to take Cop Camp back up to their facility up on the mountain. So it's going to be a fabulous opportunity for our kids to really have a great adventure camp up there. We heavily supported from a personal and professional level both the Christmas Angel program and Shop with a Cop in support of local kids and their families. We provide safety and coordination for many parades, festivals, and other community events such as National Night Out, July 3rd events, Centerfest, and others. We added some new members to our peer support team, and we invested in technology as a force multiplier to build stronger cases and to solve major crimes more efficiently. I'm really proud of the culture we have built here in the Bedford Police Department. We are grounded in collaboration, professionalism, and a shared commitment to service. We greatly appreciate the unwavering support of Town Council, Town Manager, and the community that works with us daily to ensure Bedford remains a safe place to live, visit, and raise a family. From the men and women of the Town of Bedford Police Department, we remain honored to be here to protect and serve you.
Thank you, Chief.
Anybody have any questions?
Questions?
You guys always know
I
where-
have a quick question. Just
Yeah.
FOIA, the FOIA requests, are you getting a lot of body cam requests?
Yes.
Because that's what's taking the time, I
A
know.
lot of body cam, a lot of redactions on those,
Yes.
a lot of, yeah.
They're a lot of work,
It's
that's what I was
it's
asking.
manpower intensive
Yes.
for sure. All right, thanks.
Doing a great job. Keep it
Yeah.
up.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next is a proclamation, National Crime Victims' Rights Week 2026. That one is on me, and we have Ms. Angela Mayfield here to present this proclamation to. I will read it, then, as I said earlier, come down there and make the presentation. This is National Crime Victims' Rights Week 2026. Listen, act, advocate. Protect victims, serve communities. Whereas this year's theme is a powerful call to action, one that reminds us that supporting victims of crime requires more than awareness. It requires intentional listening, meaningful action, and unwavering advocacy. And whereas listening is the first and most important step in supporting victims and survivors, it means creating safe spaces where individuals are heard without judgment, believed without question, and respected in their experiences. When we truly listen, we validate survivors' voices and recognize their strength. Listening builds trust, fosters healing, and ensures that services are guided by the real needs of those impacted by crime. And whereas Listening must be followed by action. Action means providing trauma-informed services, connecting victims to resources, strengthening partnerships, and working to remove barriers within systems. It means responding quickly and compassionately when someone reaches out for help. Action also includes educating our community, engaging stakeholders, and implementing policies that prioritize victim safety and dignity. And whereas advocacy ensures that victims' rights are upheld and their voices are represented in the criminal justice process and beyond. It means standing alongside survivors as they navigate complex systems. It also means promoting policies, funding, and community responses that center victims' needs. Advocacy challenges stigma, confronts injustice, and pushes for meaningful change so that no survivor feels alone or unseen. And whereas when we protect victims, we strengthen entire communities. Safety, justice, and healing are not individual concerns. They are collective responsibilities. By listening, acting, and advocating, we create communities where survivors are supported, rights are honored, and prevention becomes possible. Now therefore, I, C.G. Stanley, Mayor of Bedford, Virginia, do proclaim the week of April 19th through 25, 2026, as Crime Victims' Rights Week in Bedford, Virginia. We recommit ourselves to ensuring every victim is heard, every voice matters, and every community stands together in support of healing and justice. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the town of Bedford to be affixed this 7th day of April 2026. Thank you, appreciate it. All right, give me a few minutes to catch my breath, and we'll move on here.
You did good, Mayor.
All right. Ordinance, real estate tax rate for fiscal year 26 through 27. Mr. Warner.
Section 58.1-3005 of the Code of Virginia of 1950 as amended requires the council annually levy a tax on all real estate located within the town limits. The attached ordinance establishes a tax rate for fiscal year 2026-2027 of 28 cents per $100 of assessed valuation. The ordinance has been posted in accordance with Section 2-54 of the Town Code. The total real estate assessment for the town of Bedford increased by approximately 2.29%. This increase was due to new construction. Tonight, Town Council is requested to consider adoption of the ordinance establishing the real estate tax rate for fiscal year 26-27 at 28 cents per $100 of assessed valuation.
All right, and this remains the same. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Councilman Haley made the motion, and Vice Mayor Updike seconded the motion. Any comments, discussion? All right, Darcy?
Mr. Foster?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito?
Aye.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mr. Foreman?
Aye.
Mayor Stanley?
Aye.
Motion carries with 6 members voting aye.
Ordinance, personal property tax rate for calendar year 2026. Mr. Warner.
Likewise, the Code of Virginia as amended requires that council shall annually levy a tax on tangible personal property located within the town. The attached ordinance establishes a tax rate for calendar year 2026 of $1.06 per $100 per $100 of 100% of assessed value on all taxable tangible personal property, with the exception of household goods and personal effects as classified in section 58.1-3504, and horses, mules, and other kindred animals, hogs, poultry, grains, and other feeds used for the nurture of farm animals, grain and tobacco, cattle, sheep, and greenery and farm implements as classified in section 58.1, all tangible personal property employed in a trade or business other than that described in subdivisions 1 through 16 of section 58.1-3503 is taxed at a levy of 1/1,000,000th of a cent per $100 of 100% of the assessed valuation. One vehicle owned by disabled veterans are taxed at a rate of 1/1,000,000th of a cent per $100 of 100% of assessed value on taxable tangible personal property, separately classified. The ordinance also establishes a tax rate of 1/1,000,000th of 1 cent per $100 of 100% of assessed valuation on machinery and tools, motor carriers, and motor vehicles with a seating capacity of not less than 30 persons, including the driver, as separately classified. The ordinance has been posted in accordance with Section 2-54 of the Town Code. Tonight, Town Council is requested to adopt the ordinance establishing the personal property tax rate for calendar year 2026.
All right, that too remains the same. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
All right, Councilman Foreman made the motion, second.
Second.
And Councilman Foster made the second. Any discussion, comment?
Still scratch my head. 1/1,000,000th of a cent. I guess that's a placeholder though, right?
Correct. It's effectively nothing, but we don't get rid of the tax altogether.
So if I have $100 million worth of machinery, I pay $10 or something.
Tongue twisters. All right, Darcy.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito?
Aye.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mr. Foreman?
Aye.
Mr. Foster?
Aye.
Mayor Stanley?
Aye.
Motion carries with 6 members voting aye.
All right, resolution setting percentage tax relief to exhaust PPTRA relief funds 2026.
The Virginia General Assembly in 1998 passed the Personal Property Tax Relief Act with the philosophy that relief would be gradually implemented to eliminate personal property tax on personal use motor vehicles. By 2004, the Virginia General Assembly had revised its philosophy and capped the contribution from the Commonwealth to localities for reimbursement for personal property taxes. As a result, the City Council on November 22, 2005, in accordance with state statutes, adopted an ordinance which provided that the funds to be reimbursed to the then City of Bedford by the Commonwealth would be allocated in such a manner as to eliminate personal property taxation on each qualifying vehicle with an assessed value of $1,000 or less, and that the council would set annually by resolution a percentage of relief in respect to assessed values of more than $1,000 as applied to the first $20,000 in value of each such qualifying vehicle, so as to exhaust fully the PPTRA funds provided to the city by the Commonwealth. Funding and methodology of the PPTRA remain the same upon the reversion of the city to a town. The amount received from the state, $280,647, is allocated toward personal property tax relief in the town of Bedford for calendar year 2025. For calendar year 2025, a rate of 100% on the first $20,000 of assessed value was adopted, and the total relief applied to personal property bills was $470,629. Council is asked to consider adopting a PPTRA rate of 100% for year 2026, and tonight Town Council is requested to adopt the resolution as recommended by staff.
All right. Hear a motion?
So moved.
Councilman Haley made the motion, and second.
Second.
All right, Councilman Foreman made the second. Questions, discussion? Pretty routine. Okay, Darcy.
Mr. Ippolito?
Aye.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mr. Foreman?
Aye.
Mr. Foster?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mayor Stanley?
Aye.
Motion carries with 6 members voting aye.
All right, fiscal year 26 budget amendment for Versa insurance proceeds from electric pole repair.
On October 9th, a utility pole located at 813 East Main Street was damaged and turned into the Virginia Risk Sharing Association, the town's insurance carrier, as an insurance claim. The proceeds were received by the town from Versa on March 10th, 2026. Tonight, town staff is requesting for the revenue received to be appropriated towards the expense line item where the repair was spent. Tonight, town council is requested to approve a budget amendment which will appropriate budget to general ledger accounts listed as follows: an increase in the revenue line item identified as recoveries and rebates within the electric fund of $7,907, and a corresponding increase in the expenditure line item identified as professional services within the electric fund of $7,907.
Just pretty much a pass-through, I guess.
Yes.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
All right, Councilman Foster made the motion, second.
Second.
Councilman Haley. Any questions? Darcy?
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mr. Foreman?
Aye.
Mr. Foster?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito?
Aye.
Mayor Stanley?
Aye.
Motion carries with 6 members voting aye.
Resolution approving an agreement with acting Bedford County Commonwealth's attorney.
When the city reverted to a town in 2013, there are certain functions that remain within the town operations that require criminal enforcement. Commonwealth Attorney's Office is willing to assist the town in the prosecution of these cases, which would not be required under state law. The town and Commonwealth's attorney agree that it is in the best interest of the town to enter into a prosecution services agreement by which the Commonwealth's Attorney Office, through collaboration with the town attorney as necessary, will represent the town of Bedford for criminal enforcement cases of town ordinances. The town provides a supplemental stipend in consideration of the Commonwealth's attorney undertaking these services. Town council authorized the town mayor to enter into a contract with Wes Nance, who was then the Commonwealth attorney, on July 22nd, 2025. On March 10th, 2026, Wes Nance notified the town of his intent to resign as of March 31st due to his upcoming appointment as a circuit court judge. In order for prosecution services to continue, town staff is requesting for council to adopt a resolution which will authorize the town mayor to enter into a prosecution services agreement with the new acting Bedford County Commonwealth's attorney. Tonight, town council is requested to consider adoption of a resolution authorizing the town mayor to enter into a prosecution services agreement with the acting Bedford County Commonwealth's attorney.
All right, that is pretty well self-explanatory. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
All right.
Second.
Councilman Foreman and Councilman Foster. Any questions or comments on this?
I just think both that have been appointed, I think Judge Nance is going to be a great benefit to the county, the town, and our community, and I think, I can't remember who the interim Commonwealth attorney is, but he's going to do a great job. I know who he is also.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chris, thank you. Chris Dolan's going to do a great job also. Thank you.
I agree with Wes Nance. He'll do a great job.
Yes.
Yes. Good job. Good deal. All right, Darcy.
Mr. Foreman?
Aye.
Mr. Foster?
Aye.
Mr. Haley?
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito?
Aye.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mayor Stanley?
Aye.
Motion carries with 6 members voting aye.
Okay, deed of confirmation and release from Burwell regarding Stony Creek Reservoir property. Mr. Warner.
As part of the creation of the Bedford Regional Water Authority, or BRWA, the town of Bedford conveyed certain properties associated with the Stony Creek Reservoir to BRWA. This was accomplished through an ordinance adopted on June 25, 2013, after a public hearing at a regular meeting of council. The deed, which was recorded on June 28, 2013, identified several individual parcels, some of which were conveyed to BRWA and some of which were retained by the town, as well as restrictive covenants on the parcels retained by the town on Wheats Valley Road opposite the reservoir. On May 28, 2025, BRWA Executive Director Brian Key submitted a letter to the town manager seeking clarity about the ownership status of parcels on the reservoir side of Wheats Valley Road. BRWA's assertion was that there was some ambiguity associated with the deed assignment, that the authority had a reasonable claim to ownership of those parcels, and they requested the town's assistance in recording a supplemental deed, and that the deed should be reformed under the doctrine of mutual mistake. The town attorney advised that the doctrine of merger, which provides that the final deed prevails over prior negotiations, would apply. However, the town has no particular use for the land on the east side of Wheats Valley Road, while BRWA does. Accordingly, as a good neighbor, resolving this issue makes practical sense. In return for giving up its claim to the property on the east side of Wheats Valley Road, the town manager has negotiated with BRWA to release its claim to future control of land on the west side of Wheats Valley Road. As a proposed resolution of the matter, at its regular meeting on February 17, 2026, the BRWA Board of Directors recommended a deed of confirmation and release between BRWA and the town of Bedford, which would effectively assign ownership of the parcels in question on the reservoir side of Wheats Valley Road to BRWA and remove the restrictive covenants on the parcels retained by the town on the Wheats Valley Road opposite the reservoir. The deed has been reviewed as to form by the town attorney. And just as an aside, I'll mention, although council has not provided any direction on future activity for the property the town would retain, we are engaged in active discussions related to conservation and conservatorship programs that would be available to the town, and have reached out to BRWA to be part of that discussion. However, Mr. Key has responded that they would prefer to see this issue resolved before they commit further to those discussions. So, and just in the interest of transparency. Tonight, Town Council is to consider approval of the deed of confirmation and release between the Bedford Regional Water Authority and the Town of Bedford as proposed and recommended by the BRWA Board of Directors, and authorize the mayor to execute the deed. And I know that Mr. Lockaby is here to provide additional information as needed.
Yeah, I can go through the specific language of the deed. I drafted the original draft. There were some small edits from Watts Burks, who's the primary attorney for the Water Authority, which gave me absolutely no heartburn. As far as it goes, I do want you to know, under the Virginia Constitution, it requires that 3/4 of all members elected to the council must vote in favor in order to convey land. So if you six don't all vote unanimously, it fails. So I would suggest that if your thought is to just talk about it more in the future, that you table rather than vote no, because one person votes no, whole thing dies, whereas I'm sure that you guys, if you need to, you can talk for another month or two if that's what you need to do.
This has been a long time coming. I feel like this is, as I said earlier, this is the first step of getting to where we will eventually get to, which at this point we don't know. But as Mr. Warren just said, conservatorship is an option, and we'd certainly like to see that. But nonetheless, this will give us options to do something, as opposed to before we could not. So this is, I think, a very positive step in the right direction. Any comments? Anybody want to make a motion?
I think we need to talk about it a little bit more, because I still have some questions on it.
Well, then let's be sure that the questions may come after we do what we're doing. Those are the questions you may have.
Okay.
But we've got to get past this first stage first.
Okay.
But if you want to talk about it, you can table it. But, I mean, this has been a long time coming.
I just want to throw a couple of things out there, and then if someone wants to make a motion, we can go from there. And I just want to thank Mr. Warner. He has been working digitally, and Mike has been working good digitally on trying to resolve these issues. So
Yes.
I just want to give a little bit of advice. I'm not trying to put it down, but you know, in the process of the two pieces of parcels that we're talking about, 55A32 and 55A30, we're looking at almost $350,000 in tax revenue on them two pieces of property. So in the process of doing that, you know, there was a lot of issue back in February of 2023 to town where Water Authority was talking about purchasing that property from us. You know, it just kind of, one minute you want to purchase a property and the next minute you said that you want us to give you the property. I mean, that's just something I want to throw at that. And if we went to court, Mike, would we win this case or would we not win this case?
Well, Mr. Haley, I think it depends on what you mean by win.
Yeah.
But as to the narrow issue, I think that while I think that Burwell has a reasonable argument. I think that based upon the way that the procedural events went down during 2012 and 2013, and based upon the language of the deed, that probably we would have the better case. But as usual, you always need to take into account what you lose just by fighting over it in terms of both public acrimony and legal fees. Woods Rogers tends to paper things. So that would be kind of my thought on it. If we can resolve this and get into a position, I know from the legal perspective, if we can resolve this and get into a position where we no longer have Burwell with some sort of a veto power over what we do with the property on the other side of the road. The two parcels on the side of the road that we're giving up to Bedford Regional Water Authority, get an appraisal if you want, but one of them you can't get to. The other one you can just barely get to. And so I think that our recommendation is that it's just really not worth fighting over. It is not worth giving away to the Water Authority, but given that we would no longer be having to tangle with the Water Authority over this property, and because it would no longer be encumbered, we would have the ability to explore other options such as the conservation programs. It opens up some options to us that we otherwise wouldn't have. Now, to your point, it is a little bit annoying when somebody says that they're willing to offer you money for something and then they send you a nasty gram saying they're going to sue you over it. It's not an ideal way to go about things. But we also all know who we're dealing with.
Thank you. Well, I mean, I just want to throw that in, Mr. Mayor. I just want people to know the history of the whole thing, because the process of doing this, we move forward with it, and then that clears us of everything from that side of the road, and it should clear our side of the road up.
That's the point. Yes.
Yep. All right.
And I will say, as Mr. Lockerbie said, anytime we can avoid legal action, I think it's a plus, because it can be a very tangled web. It can drag on and on, times a lot longer than anyone expected. But I'm ready to move forward with this and have, as Mr. Lockerbie said, have some say-so in what we can do with the property. And there are many options, as has been said. The conservation part is great, so, but we can move forward with that.
Just remember this, we did give them another piece of property up there too, that was the old reservoir area, but they had an issue that we actually still own too, so we gave them that about a year ago. Am I correct, Mr. Warner?
No, we haven't conveyed
I
anything.
think it was a piece of property that was right there with the old reservoir or something. It was some kind of issue there with something.
I'm not, the council is not taking any action to convey
Okay.
property. That I'm certain of.
Okay.
I believe that there was an issue where the commissioner of the revenue had a piece of property mislabeled between the town and the water authority. And basically we both wrote letters to the commissioner of the revenue saying, hey, here's the deed, can you fix this?
Okay.
That's what it was.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wasn't aware of that.
It has been a tangled web, I will say that, and Mr. Lockley, thank you for taking the time to untangle it as best you can.
Well, it is tangled, but I also don't want anybody to think poorly of anybody back in 2012 and 2013. If you look over the vast amount of paper that they were trying to go through, the fact that they only made the small number of mistakes that they made is the amazing part, not the mistakes that they did.
Thank you for saying that. I was there then, so.
Well, we don't blame you.
Whatever. Are we good? Ready to vote?
Is there a motion?
Yeah. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
All right. Councilman Foster and Vice Mayor Updike. Darcy?
Mr. Foreman,
Aye.
Mr. Foster,
Aye.
Mr. Haley,
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito,
Aye.
Mr. Updike,
Aye.
Mayor Stanley.
Aye.
Motion carries with 6 members voting aye.
All right. Purchase of 3 megawatts of natural gas generated power from AMP. Mr. Warner.
AMP Public Power Partners has reached out to the town of Bedford to advise of the ability to participate in 2 new power generating projects. First involves a solar project located in Perry County, Kentucky, and the other involves a combined cycle natural gas plant in Loudoun County, Virginia. AMP's recommendation is for the town to purchase 2.5 megawatts of power from the solar project for a period of 25 years, and for the town to purchase 1 megawatt of power from the natural gas plant for a period of 15 years. Copy of the proposal is before you. Staff recommends that we purchase up to 3 megawatts of power from the natural gas plant for a period of 15 years, as this option better matches our winter needs and expected growth. We also advise against participation in the solar project, and that the town instead develop its own behind-the-meter project to generate from 2 to 5 megawatts. Staff is currently in the process of pursuing a permit to expand our existing solar facility at the town's closed landfill off Belltown Road. Tonight, Town Council is requested to authorize the town manager to purchase up to 3 megawatts of power for 15 years under the terms of the proposal offered by AMP Public Power Partners dated January 29th, 2026, and that would be from the natural gas plant in Loudoun County.
All right. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Councilman Haley, and second?
Second.
Councilman Foster. Questions, discussion?
So I just want to, so it says up to 3 megawatts, so if we didn't get the power, we don't have to purchase anything that year, or are we set, is there a set amount we have to purchase?
I think it's spelled in the agreement, and John's here who can provide greater clarity on what we're obligated to purchase. Really, this kind of goes back to what we've been trying to convey, the rising costs of getting the power to our customers before they ever use it is based on our ability to generate the power. We're only directly involved in Snowden Solar and, Snowden Hydroelectric and our solar facility. Through AMP, we do have ownership in other projects, and John can talk more about this, a natural gas plant in Ohio, coal-fired plant in Illinois, whereby we get a certain amount of our portfolio. And by securing that at a price, the price is the main thing. We cap the price for a period of time. And so we have access to this power that we need to get it to our customers, and we can control that aspect of the generation cost. This proposal would expand our ability by 3 megawatts. I think my understanding is we lock in a price for 15 years, but I'm going to defer to John to correct me anything I've said it's outlawed.
Yeah, that's correct. This is really an intermediate term hedge, so we'll know what the price is for this amount of power. And if we buy 3 megawatts, we're committed to that for 15 years. Now, we don't have to buy 3 megawatts. We can buy 1 or 2, but I think 3 fits our portfolio now with the growth we're having. And really in the wintertime, which is a major issue for us because we have so much electric heat here, we need the power desperately in the winter.
Okay, so, sorry, John, just for clarity, when it says up to, you're saying we are obligating ourselves to 3 megawatts annually?
If you pass the request, yes,
Okay.
that's true. Now, we can go back to them and say, we don't want 3 megawatts, but.
Right, but we're still paying for it.
No, if you tell me you only want to buy 2 megawatts, we'll go and tell, that's the amount we'll enter the contract to.
Yeah, okay, got it.
But if we commit to 3, we'll have 3 for 15 years.
Okay.
You need to think of it as you're buying capacity at a fixed price.
That's
And
right.
whether you use that capacity or not, you still need to pay for that capacity. It's called a take or pay contract. But if you don't have that capacity, you got to buy it for whatever it is on the market. And as we've seen, when you really need it, it's really expensive on the spot market.
Right.
That's right. This is really a hedge against spot market prices. So we'll know the price for the next 15 years. We'll have that amount of capacity credits, and it will fit well within our portfolio.
Thank you.
And it is, the price that they're offering us works out to be lower than market prices at the moment, much lower. So it's really a good offer for us.
And I agree. I mean, John was explaining this earlier at the staff meeting, and I think it's good for the town, and hopefully it'll make a little difference long-term.
Yeah. And at the same time, we're going to work as hard as we can to get our own solar capacity expanded.
Yes.
That's high on the agenda. We're also working at Snowden to get a little extra capacity there. And we're also working with AMP to get more peaking capacity here in town, behind the meter stuff. That's what pays off the most for us. If we can get it here in town, that saves us the most money.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Good.
So I have a question. I see where the governor apparently signed a bill will help lower injury bills in town or whatever. Is that going to affect us in the future where it will help our bills go down any or?
I don't know what the governor has signed, to tell you the truth. I don't know that generally that legislation only applies to Appalachian Power and to Dominion and the
I
co-ops.
know we are a separate co-op or whatever, and that's why I was asking, if that will affect us anywhere in the future. Maybe it help our bills go down because of what they signed in Richmond down there.
Without weighing too much into the politics, it's not going to help the bills. The issue is generation. We continue to generate less power, and we continue to demand more power.
Okay.
Effectively, that's probably going to make it harder for the investor-owned utilities to exist.
Okay.
And remember, we could have 1,000 new homes here in Bedford in a year or two. If you've been over to Eastland Crossing, my goodness, have those homes sprouted up, and there's more coming. So we really need to look at that, what's coming down the road towards us.
And that's kind of what we're looking at here, aren't we, John? I mean, we're looking to the future as to the capacity and what we may need.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to help us in the short term, and it will also help
Yes.
us in the long term.
Right. Yes.
When will we have access to this power?
What was the question? I'm sorry.
When will we have access to the
July
power?
1st. As a matter of fact, AMP is requesting we get this done so they can make that commitment, so it's available July 1st.
Okay.
But I think you had a question out here, if you want to take it, it's up to you.
Yeah, I had a question, and John's probably the one who can answer.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is, why are we only buying the natural gas and not from the solar power plant, particularly that would be a 25-year lease
Well,
contract?
we do much better if we develop our own solar power here, which is our plan. We have 3 megawatts of solar already. So I'd like to double that here in Bedford. And that gives us the best bang for the buck to do it here rather than in Kentucky.
Okay, well, the concern is that the legislature in Richmond will pass the regional greenhouse gas emissions next month, in May, and that would then increase the cost for natural gas.
It'll increase the
Because
cost.
they'll have to pay to offset the
Yeah.
carbon emissions.
That's true, but remember that all of the gas generation in Virginia will increase. So it's not like that will make this less valuable because the baseline is going to go up. So it's not really going to affect us in terms of differential price. But that only applies to generation here in the state. So it will apply to this unit as well. It does not apply to the units we have outside of the state. But I want to make it clear, we are going to develop more solar facilities here in Bedford. And that's the plan. And we've been working on that for, I don't know how many years.
3 years.
Four years. So we'll get there. That is the ultimate plan.
No, my concern is that if we're getting rid of all the natural gas, and then the price of natural gas increases because now plants have to offset their carbon emissions, then we're locking in a higher price than what we think we're getting today.
Well, I think that they've considered that in their proposal. But again, the price is going to go up for everybody. So it's not a disadvantage in that respect because everybody's price is going to go up. You know what I'm trying to say?
Well, but the price won't go up on solar because that's not the regional greenhouse gas emissions. Solar.
Well, that's true, but again, we do much better if we can develop solar here. We've been working for years to do that, and we finally think we can do it on our closed landfills. So that'll make it much more attractive for us. But we still need to have this power, even if we don't have the solar that we have locally, which is the plan.
So, but this.
Go ahead.
So this, but earlier it was said that this 15 years is at a fixed cost. We're buying something for 15 years at a certain cost. So if it goes up later, we're still at that fixed cost?
Well, no, that's not quite true. What they do is with gas, they also hedge the price of gas. So they layer in hedges going forward. So they'll probably hedge 70% of the gas so that will be fixed. But if Reggie passes, it will still add on to that price.
I just got a quick question. Do we have public comment in the middle of discussion, or is that at the beginning of the meeting, Mr. Mayor? I'm just asking that question.
What?
Public comment, audience speaking up in the middle of a discussion or whatever. Do we need to move a public comment to the end of the meeting where the citizens can like the board to supervise? I'm just asking that question.
I will say, I have basically stopped taking questions from the audience after the public comments. Now, Mr. Wagner addressed that, so I was polite enough to do that. So that's the only reason I did that.
Yes, sir, I understand.
Does that answer your question?
That's my question, but I said no,
But you know, I understand where you're coming from. Anything else for John? Did we make a motion? We did. Didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, I thought so. Anything else?
no.
Darcy?
Mr. Foster?
Aye.
Mr. Handy?
Aye.
Mr. Ippolito?
Aye.
Mr. Updike?
Aye.
Mr. Foreman?
Aye.
Mayor Stanley?
Aye.
Motion carries with 6 members voting aye.
All right. See, there is no further business to come before this council. I am adjourning this meeting to Tuesday, April 21st at 6 p.m. for the third quarter financial report. Adjourned.